Hi, and welcome to Element Z3, Percy Pole's Peculiar Plans. It had been quiet the morning at Pole Manor. Percy had taken his usual seat at the breakfast table, doodled roses idly in his notepad, and watched as the chaos had begun to unfold. As he observed his family, he saw Father burn through his third saucepan, trying to scramble eggs. Basil Paul rattled around the kitchen, too tall for his own good. He knocked utensils over with his two long arms, bashed into open cupboard doors with his two knobbly knees, and tripped over the dog with his two big feet. It appeared that sometime earlier that morning, Mother had tidied away the butter, which had drastically affected how quickly he had burnt the eggs. When Mother was unable to find the butter again, Father gave up and served bread with prune jam instead. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It prepares you for whatever is to come. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. That's what I always say. He declared as he sprinkled dried parsley over his serving. Mother eventually found the butter in her knitting bag. Bratwurst reminded her that it was there by sticking his long snout into the collection of colored twine. For a lake, the wool protects it from the flies, Mother said, but not from dachshunds, apparently. Mother had a gentle way of being. She had a heart shaped face with large dark eyes, and her thick hair, streaked with grey, was always held off her face by a silk scarf. She seemed to breeze around the house as if her feet floated a few centimeters above the floor. She always wore one of her many jubills. Today's was the one with the stitched flowers around the neck and the red trim. Percy thought she looked like a patch of valerians. When Mother looked at Percy, he felt like he was the only person in the world. Grandmother believed and often said that she thought that Mother was odd. This was, no doubt, down to Mother's habit of tidying things away in surprising places and her unusual beliefs about how the house should be kept. Many years ago, for example, Mother had installed a thermometer in every room of the house and still spent much of her time checking each one to make sure that the inside of Pole Manor stayed the perfect temperature for brain function, which, according to her, was 20 and a quarter degrees Celsius. Mother had her ways, but Percy never complained when he found various sugary snacks in his bed. So that you will have sweet dreams, she would say happily. Percy cleared his plate and escaped into his favorite room in the house, the orangery. The orangery was the only part of the house where Percy was rarely disturbed, as it contained nothing but plant life and was of no interest to the rest of the Pole family. Tall, narrow windows stretched from floor to ceiling along the walls of the large room, which stuck out from the rest of Pole Manor to get sunlight on three sides. This light was now limited. However, due to the amount of grime that had collected on the flat glass roof and the sheer volume of exotic plants that filled every corner of the space, a date palm towered over everything, and the luscious lemon and orange trees gave the shady room a wonderful citrus aroma. Percy leant close to the creeping jasmine to block out the smell of father's cooking. For a moment, Percy took in his own faded reflection in a dusty, gold framed mirror that was propped against the wall. His large goggle like glasses rested on the tip of his nose. Just like his father, Percy needed them for reading, writing, looking, and just about everything else. Also, just like his father, he had never managed to find a pair that fit. His dark, tightly curled hair sat atop his head as usual. It always seemed to grow faster than he could trim it. Today he wore his summer suit with a bow tie and waistcoat. Mother said that it made him look handsome, but Percy was not so sure. As he looked at himself, he wondered where Daisy was. His sister had not come down for breakfast. He had not heard her usual banging and clattering so far that morning. And, "Hey, Percy Petal!" Daisy landed with a thump through the open, glass paneled doors that led to the grounds, almost as if she had swung in one of the hanging vines. She shook her head, and a cloud of dust and dirt bloomed out in all directions. She wore her usual pair of tatty denim work dungarees and brought in a smell of grease and engine oil. When she took a second to look at Percy, her brow creased into a frown in the way that it did with all the women of the Paul family. Question time. What did the family finally have for breakfast? Tick 1. Number the events from 1 to 5 to show the order in which they happened. What type of dog is Bratwurst? What do you think Valerians are? Explain your answer. What is Percy's opinion of mother? Explain how you know. Give 2 reasons why Percy likes it in the orangery. What is the tallest plant in the orangery? Explain how you know. He had not heard her usual banging and clattering so far that morning. And why do you think the author has ended this paragraph with a dash? How are the characters of Percy and Daisy different? Use what you know from the text to support your answer. Let me leave you with the answers. Please try to answer in a complete statement. Kindly do not forget to subscribe as it reflects the showering of the love from the community the way we are growing. Do like and share. Till then, do take good care of your health. Thank you.